So I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty excited to be recording this video for you today. So I'm going to do my best to speak fairly slowly and fairly calmly, but no guarantees. So you may have seen that I have finally, as some of you have said, decided that it is time to own the unique nexus that is both my business savvy and my intuition. And so if you haven't already seen it, there's a post on my Facebook page. It's gone out and it has been so beautifully well received. And so many people are like, well, duh. But it seems I'm the last one to kind of connect these two things together. And so it has come to the time where I am finally going to step into really owning that unique nexus that I bring to the world. And so I have designed a brand new intensive, which is a 2-hour session called Accelerate Your Online Business. And it's for women who have online businesses, hence the name Accelerate Your Online Business. And it's 2 hours. That's why I've called it an intensive, because 2 hours is a decent amount of time. And I wanted to kind of take the opportunity to explain it to you so that you get a bit of an idea as to what the 2 hour entails, or the 2 hours, I should say, entails, and take you through how it's kind of going to come about, I suppose, how it's going to take place so that you can decide whether or not this is right for you. So first things first, you need to be a woman and you need to have your own online business. Now, the stage of business doesn't really matter in terms of you can be starting out, you can be partway through your journey, you can be an established business and you wanted to take it to the next level. Regardless of where you're at with your business, that's not necessarily so important. What's important is that A, you identify as a woman, and B, that you have an online business. And what we're going to look at in this intensive session is really getting to the underlying cause of why you haven't gotten the success that you know you are capable of in your business. And the way that we're going to do that is like this. So the 2-hour intensive session is designed to be a combination of 3D and 5D. And what I mean by that is the first thing that we do when we come into the session is you kind of do like a brain dump, if you will. And for most of the women that are going to find this the perfect thing for them, what's going to be going on for them is that they're going to be experiencing a lot of overwhelm. And there's a lot of things going on in their head and they kind of just want to get it out, and they want someone to put it into a system and a structure that's going to make sense with, they've got tasks and lists. I tried to put 2 words together and made a new word, tasks and lists, to kind of follow, and a structure and a system to follow, because all this stuff that's swirling around in their head can get to the point of where it's like so overwhelming, I don't know where to start, and they either put their head in the sand and don't take any action, or my favorite is they visit the fridge or the pantry again, expecting to find something new, and they were only there not that long ago, and wondering why our businesses aren't succeeding and growing the way that we want them to, and bringing in the income that we know we're actually capable of. This is not about whether you're capable of running a successful online business or not, because that's entirely possible. What we're here to look at is what you're doing and how you're doing it that sabotages your success and your business growth and the income that you desire. And so first thing you're going to do is you're going to do a big brain dump. You're going to get it all out of your head and all the things like just bleh, basically. And I'm going to be sitting doing this. This is my typing. This is me typing. My keyboard's clearly not up there, it's down there, but I'm going to be typing out all of that stuff, asking questions where I need more information, and you're just going to have time and space to kind of get it out of your head, right? Because it's so much easier to follow through when you know what you're doing. But sometimes it's really hard to do because you're so in it that you can't see the forest for the trees. And that's how we end up being so overwhelmed. And then it kind of gets us, we're stuck. We can put our head in the sand, go back to the fridge. And the time that we set aside to be working on our businesses, we're actually doing all the other things. We're doing everything but working on our business. And that is kind of how it works, right? That's how we sabotage our business success. The thing is though, so you're going to do that first, right? You can tell me all that. I'm going to document all of that and map all of that, just kind of dot points. The thing is, though, is that the reason why we sabotage ourselves is usually an energetic kink in our system. And so I say kink in like if you think about a hose, right? And if you've got a hose and you've turned it on at the tap and it's not working, the first thing you do is you check the tap is on. Of course, that's working. The next thing is that you check for a kink in the hose. And what happens for all of us, none of us are immune to this, myself included, is that we have energetic kinks. And so we can have all the best intentions in the world, but if energetically there's something out of alignment, then we're going to sabotage our success. We're going to sabotage our business growing and expanding and bringing in that income, right? And so that unique nexus that I was talking about earlier is where I use my business savvy, but is this bit here, which is my intuition, right? And so what I'm going to do after you've done that big brain dump is we're going to move into the 5D. And so I'm then going to use my intuition to tune in energetically to see what's going on for you that has you kind of stuck in that loop and procrastinating and not making that business progress and success. And we're going to get to the bottom of what that is, and then we're going to spend some time clearing it out through all of the layers of consciousness until it is gone. And we're going to spend some time together doing that, and that's a decent chunk of the 2-hour session. So we get all of the crap out of your head and just kind of just get it out, and then we move into the 5D. So it's 3D here, really practical, all the things that you're facing in your daily life and your challenges and your frustrations. Then we move into the 5D. That's where I do the energetic evaluation. So I'm checking in, seeing what's going on. There'll be a belief that's stored in your subconscious that we'll identify. And that belief is going to be what is sabotaging your business success. That's the kink in the hose. And so once we have what that belief is, we're then going to unkink it. And so that we can allow the metaphorical flow of water through the hose, the flow of the energy, the success, the growth, and the income through your business. But whilst that energetic kink is in the way, it's going to make things really, really difficult. So together we're going to do that. So what we'll do is we'll go through a little bit of a journey together. So once we identify what that kink is, we're going to look at what the shadow archetype is that's hanging out with that. So there's 4 shadow archetypes that I work with based on the work of Caroline Myss, and we'll work out what the shadow archetype is and how that's kind of playing out. Then we're going to look at what's going on in your energy system as to how that belief that's in your subconscious is kind of playing out and potentially affecting the 3D level, right? And how that's connected to your business and your body and your energy and all of that sort of stuff. Then what we do, and this is my most favorite part of the whole thing, is we go and identify the past life in which you took on that belief, that energetic kink in your system, the belief that you've taken on that's sitting in your subconscious. We're going to go and explore the past life and what actually happened in that lifetime that is when we call it an instigating event. It's when you actually took on that belief as true for you, and then you basically just act that out subconsciously. Remember, this is subconscious. You're not doing this on the conscious level. If you were conscious and aware of it, you would have changed it and done it differently, right? It's subconscious. And so we identify the past life in which you took on that belief. And then what we do, because what happens with that kind of instigating event is there's a part of you that's been stuck in that time and space since that instigating event. What we do is we then call that home and we reintegrate that with you so that the parts of you that have been separated like this, the part of you that is now, that is experiencing the struggles and the challenges in your online business, and the part of you that's been stuck in that time and space since the instigating event, we reintegrate those and we do that. And that's a co-creative process. You're very involved in this part, very much so involved in this reintegration. So up until that part, I'm kind of guiding and tuning into you energetically and accessing that information using my intuition. And then we start to do it co-creatively. So you come into it at this point here. Then what we do is we go through that integration process and then we come out the other side. There's a few other things that we do to just kind of close that out. And that's basically making sure that we move all of the remaining belief, whatever is left, if there's anything left over in your system, we move all of that out. We kind of do a final clear. And that's the energetic work. So that's the 5D stuff. So then what we do is we take a break because it's a 2-hour session. We've gone through at least an hour and a bit by this stage. And so we take a break and we just very gently come back into the space and into our surroundings, hop up, have a cup of tea, go to the toilet, get up and stretch. And then we have a little bit of a debrief. And so for some of you, you'll have a debrief before the break because you really feel that you need to share. And for some of you, you'll have your little break and then we'll do the debrief. And then what happens from the debrief is we then, because there's things from the experience that you might want to talk about and talk through and share, depending on what happens for you in that particular experience. And then from the debrief, we kind of segue back into the 3D nice and gently. So we're kind of coming out of that energetic world, moving back into the 3D, and then we start to connect the dots. So what we do is we connect the things that are happening in the 3D, in your physical world, in your surroundings, in your business, and how the belief that we have just cleared was connected to that and what we can do differently. And then what we're going to do is, from a really, really practical 3D perspective, is we're going to then design 3 specific action items. Now, I know this sounds really, not very sexy and not very fun, but what we need to do is we need to encode your reality with your new normal, and your new normal being you integrated, you and the past part of you that was stuck at that instigating event, and that belief being moved out through all of the layers of your subconscious, all of the layers of your consciousness. That's your new normal that I'm referring to here. And so what we need to do is we need to take some specific actions that are inspired and motivated by your new normal, which is you reintegrated and without that subconscious belief. And that is then going to be fueled by what we've done with the energetic work and the success that you desire in your business, okay? And so we're going to come up with 3 of them. Some of you might have more than 3, some of you might have just the 3, but there's a minimum of 3 that we're going to come up with. And they're going to be really specific. So for those of you who are familiar with like the SMART goals thing, they're going to be really specific. You're going to be able to measure whether they've been done or not, right? So things like, I'm going to increase the amount of walking I do is a bit hard to kind of really easily measure. Is it an increase? Is it not? It's an ongoing thing. It's a bit tricky. So it might be 3 walks a day. I'm just using walking as an example, right? I'm looking outside and seeing that it's a rainy, drizzly, rainy day here, and there's no walking going to be happening this afternoon. And so we're going to be really, really specific, and they're going to be really realistic. And what I think is really key here is that we factor in your capacity in terms of your time available and your skill set. And if there are things that need help, then we're going to factor that into that. But most of you will have 3 things that you can action yourself. You won't need external support to get those done, because we're working on our businesses, your business. So you're the one who's going to be doing these action items to create this new reality for this new normal for you. And so you're also going to have some time frames on them. So you're not just going to set the goal and then forget about it. You actually have a due date. You have a due date as to when you're going to achieve each of those 3 tasks. So we're going to be really realistic with that as well. So they're going to be very achievable, but they're going to be really strategic. And this is where that kind of my business sense is going to come into it. So we're going to do it intuitively. We're going to come up with these 3 tasks together. I'm going to guide you using A, my intuition, and B, my business sense. And you're going to be coming up with these with me. We're going to be doing this together. This is not a me telling you what to do, because I don't think that that's empowering. And if you have spent any time with me, then I'm really not interested in disempowering you and telling you that I've got a special gift because I'm intuitive or any of that sort of stuff, because that is absolutely bollocks. You are intuitive. I'm intuitive. I've just practiced that muscle. It's like going to the gym, right? You don't get a 6-pack by just getting the gym membership. You actually have to go to the gym. And so you won't ever hear me going, this is everything that you need to do because I know better, because I'm any better than you. That is absolutely not the case. So we're going to be using your own skills and your own knowledge of yourself and your own intuition to create those 3 key steps, right? It's not about me. I'll be guiding the early parts of the energetic work using my intuition, but then it becomes a co-creative process, because I'm not going to do this for you, because that doesn't create lasting change. You doing it is what creates lasting change. Yeah. That's why I go on as tangents and rants about healers and things like that, because I'm not a healer, because that would A, imply that you are broken, and B, imply that I can do something that you can't. And I just don't subscribe to that. So that's the 2-hour intensive. So just to quickly recap, 3D, 5D, 3D. The 3D stuff at the start is where you kind of get it all out of your head and whatever that looks like, right? tell me everything that's going on, all of the stuff, all of the frustrations, all the overwhelms, just get it all out of your head and I'll type it all up and ask questions as I need to. Then we move into the 5D stuff. We do that energetic work. Then at the end, once we've kind of come back into the space, and we go gently, that's why we have the 2 hours, because we can't just like finish the energetic work, because there's a lot of shifting energetically that happens in that middle section. And then we gently come back in, and then we slowly move into the 3D, come back into the here and now, our surroundings and our own environments, as we create those next steps to then really affirm on that 3D level that the energetic work that we have done is taking effect in the 3D, because the 3D plane is actually the hardest one to change. Energetically is actually much easier. So we want to make sure that that's filtering through from that 5D energetic, that plane that is, we can't see it, energetic, down to the gross material plane, which is the 3D reality that we live in. So that is my 2-hour intensive session. Just going to shimmy myself because I'm sitting on my foot and it's gone a little bit numb. So that is my Accelerate Your Online Business intensive session. So we're going to identify the energetic kink that's in your system that's sabotaging your business from the success, the growth, the income that you desire. Once we've got that kink, we're going to clear it out, and then we're going to create some action steps to then create that as your new normal without that kink, without that belief as your reality. So that's it. If you have any questions, please do reach out and let me know. Happy to answer any questions, but that's it. So if that tickles your fancy, then go ahead, get yourself booked in, and I look forward to hanging out with you, because this stuff is gold. All right, that's it from me. Bye for now.